back to my YouTube channel. Today I have my lovely squad with me, and what we're going to do is we're talking about making positive connections online. So I've been asked often, how did I meet all of these wonderful people? And what I want to share with you is that you're going to make connections online, and it's not always going to be in the same way. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of storytelling. I'm going to tell you how I met each one of these beautiful ladies, and if you have questions, you can go ahead and comment below, and maybe we'll do another video next time we meet up.
And give the video a thumbs up if you're
and subscribe if you haven't already,
so you don't miss future videos.
Okay. The main question that I get asked often is, how do I connect with people online? And there's a multitude of different ways that I've connected with people. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start here with lovely Erin. Your hair's soft. It's okay. I actually met Erin at the Teachers Take meetup in Monterey.
Yes.
And immediately I could tell across the way that she is just full of personality. Like, it completely takes over the room, and like you can feel it across the way. And I was like, I kind of want to go hang out with that girl. Like, I just want to follow her and just watch what happens, because you never know what's going to happen. But you ended up winning a Brain Vomit journal.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that what it was?
Yeah.
And then we got to take a picture together. But prior to that, like, you found out that I was going. And like the whole month prior to me going to Monterey, she was messaging me and we were connecting and like sharing different stories.
Yep.
So that's how we connected, is I shared that I was going to a meetup. And then from there, like, Erin was bold enough and like brave enough to like reach out to somebody online and start making that conversation. And sometimes you just have to make that first connection.
Risk it to get the biscuit.
Yes.
Hashtag risk it to get the biscuit.
Hashtag risk it to get the I love that. I mean, is there anything else?
No, I think that pretty much.
I mean, that was pretty much
that
it.
sums it up. Yeah.
Like, we messaged on Instagram.
Yeah,
the whole month prior.
Yeah. I was so surprised, like, that you called me out when we were at the meetup, because I didn't think you, still would recognize me.
And that's like, I've always told people, like, it's so hard for me to remember, and we'll get there because that's Michelle's story here. It's so hard for me to remember people's names, because you follow me, and I see your name, and I see your, like, you know, your handle, but I don't see your face.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever do I see your face, especially if you're not posting pictures of your face. So it was so hard, but like the fact that you had commented and you're like, no, like this is, you know, and you just like shared videos of like your hair looking really good one day, and I was like, oh, that's what she looks like. So then when you rolled up, I was like, I know who that girl is. But if I don't,
with a Z. Always with a Z. Hair goals with a Z.
Hair goals Z. But like, if you don't ever like comment or put yourself out there, it's so hard to remember, because I can't keep track of all of them. And that's kind of like how I met Michelle. Is we met at TPC. I feel so bad about this.
You should.
We met at the TPC Orlando meetup, and she asked to take a picture with me, and I don't remember it at all.
Insert picture here.
Oh, Michelle, you were scared, correct?
I was. I waited around, and you were talking to other people, and I almost chickened out and left, and I was like, no, make those connections, make it happen. Yeah,
risk it to get the biscuit.
And
in all cases, next the biscuit.
I met her. I'm pretty sure I was like shaking.
Do I get gravy?
No, I don't like gravy. I think when I think of risk it to get the biscuit, I think of like a cookie. Not like an actual biscuit.
Whatever kind of biscuit you like, that's what you risk it for.
Yeah.
If you're a dog, it's a dog biscuit. But yeah, like, but again, like, you had to be bold to stay there and make that connection. And
be bold like Lindsay's lips.
And like that started the connection. I think we started to talk more after that, but it wasn't until you called me after I did my first like Instagram live, and I was super overwhelmed. But like Meg was in there like finding all of the creepers and blocking them for me, and like making me feel comfortable. And then you called me afterwards, and you're like, "You want to join the squad?"
I was like, I feel like you're very alone.
And that's how I joined the squad. That's how Squad 4 became Squad 5.
Squad. So these two, just being bold. So meetup, TPC Orlando, and then like after that, like just communicating and like talking to people. Lindsay, I've known you the longest. I found Lindsay through, what was it, like Disney wedding hashtag or something?
I don't know. I had been following Meg for a really long time, and I found out that we had the same wedding date, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, because it was a Friday, and that was, that's not typical to have a Friday wedding date. And then I discovered that we were going to Disney on our honeymoons at the same time, and I knew she was from Nebraska, and so I was like, oh my gosh, like this could be like a really good friend of mine. And I kept telling my husband, like, they're here, like her and her husband are here.
She's
like they're like, is it weird if I like commented? Like, this was before stories came out, so I would like I was like stalking her feed on Instagram to see where she was, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're in Epcot. Can we go to Epcot? Like, is it really weird? And my husband was like,
I was doing the same thing. My
husband was like, no, you're being a little weird about this. I was like, but I know, who she is, and he's like, no, you don't know, she's not a real life friend, like, she's an Instagram friend.
But I am now.
You are now, but like, I think that's like the point of, like, we could have met in Disney, and started our connection more so there, but we didn't, because both of us thought the other person would think we were crazy, and in actuality, we were doing it, So that's why you need to take note from these two to be bold and like make it happen, because I mean she's just a person. So, but I didn't want her to think I was weird.
I'm just a person.
You're much more than that to me.
I'm just a person.
So we didn't actually meet until a year later
at the Midwest meetup.
That Jameson and I
biggest hug ever. It was great. But I mean, after the whole Disney thing, I think that because I stalked yours too, and my husband's like, you seriously need to stop. Like, these people they don't know who you are. And I was like, but no, like, we have the same wedding date. He's like, that doesn't matter. He's like, there are people from all over the world that have the same wedding date. He's like, you want to go be? But she's in Iowa, like that.
It's literally just like it's just like a 5-hour drive. Like, I could have but like I personally like try to. I know it's like a lot, and it takes probably a lot of my time, but I respond to every DM that I get, unless it's something like completely inappropriate, and then I decline it. But like on my requests and stuff, I always allow it, because I enjoy like making that connection to like people and like talking to them, because then it like that I feel like would lead to some of these genuine connections. So I know, because like when you first like say something to someone, you may not know like who they are or whatever, but like that might just like, it could be like Michelle like feeling like really uneasy, but she took that step to like just say something to me, and then just me like interacting with that. I think that's how like a genuine friendship could start. So I always respond to DMs unless they're completely inappropriate, and then I decline them, but I always respond, whether it's a heart or like an emoji or like thank you so much or that's so sweet or something like that. Then I think that just starts a connection, and I think you're following like they just realize that you're just more of a real person.
So, meetup, Orlando, Instagram stalking, and then a meetup. And
Tinder.
Tinder for friends. We swiped right.
No, I found you on Instagram.
I'm kidding. I don't have a Tinder.
No, I know.
Oh.
No,
I go on Instagram.
And so I met Christina and found her on Instagram, and you were doing all of your puns.
Yes, I need to bring that back.
I miss those.
She did stories with puns.
Yes.
And it was great. It was fantastic. And
was it very punny?
It was very punny. It was
always
very
an example.
Funny. Can you come up with one?
No. I'm not that kind of person. Michelle can do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Michelle. But I would just my random stories. I haven't done those in a while, but I would just do I would do really random things on my stories.
Yeah. You would trick your kids, like your students.
Yes, I would do pranks.
And you would do puns. And the day that you ripped your pants.
Yes.
You scooted around. You showed yourself scooting
around
the classroom in your chair.
Oh! I didn't know I shared that.
I'm not getting up. I was like, I wasn't getting up either. But I think from there, we just kind of started talking, and then from we're the same kind of weird, and it kind of worked.
Same kind of weird. And then we did the summer challenge together.
We did Embrace That Body.
I think so. I started. It still hasn't been a year since I started, but so in January is when I would hear people shouting at other people. So I might have found you from Lindsay or Erica, I think somebody that I found you, and
like, it's interesting being someone who has, like, no followers and, like, talking to people who do, because you feel like, oh, I don't want to, like, bother them. I don't want to always be coming with stories. So I feel like I would just always make it genuine. So, like, I don't comment on everyone's stories, but, like, if something really interested me, I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, that was really funny, or blah, blah, blah. And I feel like when you make those genuine comments, that's what people, because, like, I'm sure we talked before you even started following me.
Oh, yeah.
And then...
But it was always, like, I never... Yeah. It wasn't always, like, the little heart thing that you can send in, like, the DMs. It's, like, I really enjoyed what you were doing. And I think that that's, like, you can kind of feel genuine comments when they come through the screen. Like, it's not... the whole voice is removed. All of the emotion is removed. So you can, like, kind of sense... and correct me if I'm wrong, but, like, you can kind of sense if a comment's, like, genuine or not. Like, did they take the time to actually watch it? Did they take the time to, like, understand who you are? Because if you're putting yourself out there, they should kind of know who you are. Yeah. A little bit.
And then when you're sharing genuine things, it's like, oh, I'm actually really interested in that. Like, when Meg would do lives, and I would always be in there, like, talking back and forth, and then she was like, you should do a live. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do a live. And then I did, and she was there supporting me. And then one live... I was talking just about, like, women and accepting your body, and right after that, she was like, I really resonated with that. Yeah. We should, like, do something like that. And so that was, like, a genuine connection, where it wasn't, like, me reaching out, like, hey, let's do this, or let's do that. It was like, I'm actually really interested in that. That aligns with what I believe in. Let's do something. And when you do something genuine like that,
amazing things happen. Because that was really cool to see over the summer, is, like, Embrace That Body. Like, so many amazing people just kind of opened up, and it was like a safe place to be. Yeah. And, like, that was a really cool thing that... Definitely out of all of these relationships, I would have to say that, like, it was all about being bold, it was all about being genuine, and it was all about, like, taking that step to really get to know somebody. And I think that when you have those kind of connections, amazing things can happen, but it's not easy. Like, it takes work to connect with somebody. It's not just gonna, like, magically happen.
And just because someone, like, if you're connecting with someone and you notice that maybe they're not connecting with you, or they're not following you back, like, that doesn't mean that they're not interested in what you have to say. I think a big part of it is, like, not assuming what someone's doing, or, like, that can be really, like, that's great, Lindsay responds to all DMs. I try to too, but, like, that can be exhausting too. So if you're messaging someone, they're not responding, it's not because they're not seeing you or because they're not connecting. Right. But, like, if it's something you're interested in, or, like, someone that you really align with, like, just keep, I guess, like, making positive comments. But sometimes it'll happen to me, like, someone will be talking to me, and I don't necessarily, like, someone inboxing me, I go and follow them back. Like, sometimes we just have a conversation, and after a while I'll be like, oh wow, this person, like, really has good things to say about, like, everything I said. Yeah. Right. Let me go and check out further, like, when I have time. Right. Their message, maybe it aligns with my message, and maybe we can...
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, don't take it personally. Like, I don't think it's ever meant to be personal. It's just, people have lives. And, like, if you do that, great. If you have time to do that, great. But sometimes it's, like, yourself, like... You need time for yourself. Like, I'll turn off my phone. There are times I'll just turn it off and I'll, like, not look at it.
And Lindsay does that too. Yeah. I've now, like, picked a time of day where I respond, and that helps me.
Oh, mine's at the end of the day. Because I get home from work before Jason does, and so while I'm watching Ellen, that's when I go through stuff.
While I'm watching Ellen.
Yeah. I never thought of doing that. Like, I would just respond to and I was, like, on my phone all day. But now, like, in the morning when I wake up,
well, because, like, when I'm at school, like, I check my phone, like, in the morning as I'm getting ready and, like, kind of watch stories, like, while I'm getting ready, like Michelle does. And then I go to school, like, school day. Like, on Instagram, I might check, like, during lunch while I'm eating. Otherwise, I'm having conversations with colleagues, and I won't check it until at the end of the day.
I'll literally set a timer, and I'll be like, I'm going to spend 15 minutes. Like, what I respond to, great. What I don't, like, I'm not going to let it stress me out.
And again, so don't take it personally, like, you know, because Michelle's saying she takes 15 minutes. She's not going through and selecting certain people to respond to. Yeah. It's just who she gets to in that time. So I think that's, you know, as Christina was saying, don't give up. Keep reaching out and being bold. If it's someone that, you know, you relate to, just keep reaching out to them.
Yeah, it'll happen. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Click the bell and subscribe. I will link these lovely ladies below. Thank you so much. If you have more questions, don't forget to leave them below, and I will see you guys later. Bye!